Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashim, Yahshua Bashim, Kakadash, double honors and salutations to those on Apostle of Roman Storm Wells, Brother Nash DC Camp, another short lesson to inspire the hopeful elect. Yeah, so you see the article on the screen. Alright, it's always about, understanding history. You have to understand the history of our people and how these so-called Amalekites, alright, played a role in profiting of our demise. They profited of the curses that the Lord Yahweh Shah put upon us, and they don't want to admit it. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm reading this article. Okay, I just came across it a while ago. So it says, Dennis Prager tells the truth about the slave trade, but fails to mention the prominent Amalekites' role in it. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is, The so-called Jewish folks, man, they never want to admit to their role in making the slave trade happen. Okay, they'll never want to admit to it. They'll try to minimize their involvement. So the evidence is there, just have to look in the right places because you can't really trust Amalek to tell the truth. Okay, because, scripture talks about never trust thy enemy. Okay, and the Lord has proven to us that these so-called Amalekites are our enemies. Okay, and they're seeking to retain the birthright. All right, and they can't because that was only given to the Israelites, which is the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans. All right, and you have to accept that it's all part of prophecy. That is, Amalekites will always try to usurp the blessing out of the house of Jacob. Okay, but the Lord has already set it in stone that it's never going to happen, or they're not going to accomplish their enterprise. And that's exactly what the New World Order is all about. Okay, so in this image you see they have a caption at the bottom. It says an Arab slave ship in the Red Sea with British cruiser in the sight, and then you see Israelites in there, men and women in the ship. So just understand, man. They always want to put an image out there, but they won't really want to tell the whole story. So it says the Amalekite conservative Dennis Prager is at it again, attempting to expose the hypocrisy of the left on the issue of slavery by pointing the finger at the evil Muslim slavers while deftly failing to admit the disproportionate role of the Amalekites played, all right, role the Amalekites played in dominating the transatlantic slave trade, a role that was justified by the Amalekite so-called holy book, the Talmud, which promises, all right, that all non-Jews, all right, will be slaves of the Amalekites, and that's how it is. They play games, all right. They play games, all right, because when these Edomites know that the words of the Lord does not include them when it comes to the inheritance of salvation, they want to go about and create their own, and that's the reason why they had to adopt the Talmud. So, if you read the article, it's really good, but it just proves that there's so much these Amalekites are willing to go through to make sure that they keep the truth out of the light. And the Lord Yahweh has already said there's nothing done in the dark that would not become to light. There's nothing they can hide. All right. So when you keep reading the whole article, it tells you clearly about what they've done, not just here in Northern America, but what they also did in South America. Because they had a lot of Jakes from West Africa down there in South America. Brazil, Colombia, Mexico. All right. So they always have a hand in the enslavement of our people. So I'm just going to go straight to the point and read from the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. That's a easy precept. It's simple to remember, but it carries a lot of weight in it, okay? And it tells you clearly, it says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So as Yamalek always want to point to the so-called Arabs as being instrumental in the slave trade. They also are involved, so the Lord is not going to let them get off scot-free. And that's the reason why judgment is coming for them, okay? So if you keep reading everything, it tells you clearly, man. All right. It says the Amalekites in Spain also were involved in the lucrative Arab slave trade in North Africa, helping transfer, or it says white slaves across the Mediterranean up through the 17th century. All right. So they were also, trading Edomites, up from Eastern Europe. Okay, that's how these Edomites, so-called Amalekites, are, man. They're always about to, look for opportunities to make a profit. All right, they always want to find the best deal that could generate so much, let me say, passive income for them. And that's the reason why, they are at the top of the food chain when it comes to finances. Okay, then it says, and it almost seems needless to even say at this point that Amalekites dominated the slave trade in the New World. And what was the New World? In both North and South America, a role that many Amalekites still actively deny because it undermines the myth of the black Amalekite common clause. Yeah, so that's what it is. Ever since the Lord allowed them to get up from under our rulership, they were able to have our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, have them in servitude. All right. So it says an example of this Amalekites denial is Saul Friedman's 1998 biopic apologetic Amalekites and the American Slave Trade, which audaciously claims that the Amalekites' role was tiny. Yeah, and when you watch that movie, Amistad, all right, it shows you how they want to slant it and portray the so-called regular Edomites as the perpetrators of the transatlantic slave trade, and it leaves out the role that these so-called Amalekites play. So that's one thing you have to understand when you're putting the puzzle pieces together. You have to get the whole picture. You have to know the reason why a puzzle is there and what role it plays as part of the whole picture. Okay. And then it says almost all the early Amalekite settlers in America belonged to the wealthy classes. It was natural for Amalekites to accept the institution of slavery as they found it and to derive as much benefit from it. Slavery was principally in the hand of the Amalekites. All right? And that's as much as I want to read from this whole article. You can go online and read it yourself, okay? And then you read from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 12. It tells you that, for behold, for thus said the Lord Yahweh Hashem Hashem Kakadash, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken. So our people weren't, meant to go into slavery, but hey, the Lord let it happen, okay, because the Lord had to punish our people for their iniquities. All right, and then it says concerning the Edomites, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished, thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So we drank the cup. So it's the time for these Amalekites, for this nation of Edomites to go ahead and drink the cup too. And that's why they have to go ahead, they have to push hard for this Operation Warp Speed, okay? Because they want our people to drink that marinara sauce, but the elect won't go along with it, okay? So it's just so clear that the Lord Yahweh has set things in motion, all right, to prepare for the, capture of these Edomites, man, because their rulership is coming to an end, and they know exactly what's about to happen. That's why they have to pull up all stops to dominate narrative when it comes to brothers putting information. So Revelation chapter 13 verse 9 says, if a man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. It's that simple. Alright, so there's nothing, the so-called Amalekites can do, the nation of Edom can do to wiggle their way out of the judgments of the Lord. Alright, I didn't even get to Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. It tells you clearly what the Lord is going to do. Alright, so it tells you clearly, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Yep, it's that clear. That's the just power, okay? That's the just power from the Lord. And then you read from the book of Exodus chapter 17, and then verse 13 or 16, it tells you clearly, and Yahushai, alright, that's Joshua. Let me just say Yahushai. And Yahushai, alright, so let me say Yahushai, that's Joshua. And Yahushai discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Yahushai. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And that's clear. Yep, it's that clear. See? So it's all prophecy. Everything is coming about, circle, full circle. So there's nothing these so-called Amalekites can say to deny their involvement when the evidence is right there. The articles, the receipts, the ledgers, everything is there, man. The insurance documents is there. All right. Then it says in verse 15, and Mashah built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nisi. And I read it to you in the Ashwan Kodash. Alright, so Yahweh let's see, Nasaya. Alright, Yahweh Nasaya. Alright, Yahweh Nasaya. Alright, that's the Most High Yahweh is my banner. Alright, so that's judgment. That's for remembrance against these Amalekites. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Kakadash had sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So the Lord is going to give these Amalekites a serious thrashing in these last days. Alright, that's the reason why they are pushing so hard for this great reset, so they could dominate the whole world and knock our people out of position to receive salvation. So another precept will be from the book of Malachi chapter 4. I'm going to read verse 2. And it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness, as Yahushai, arise with healing in his wings. So the chariots of the Lord will show up very soon, deliver our people out of the hands of the enemy, out of the hands of these Amalekites, all right? And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said the Lord Yabashimashai. That's about what? So, wow. Complete extermination. That's exactly what the Lord is putting forth in the scriptures. You know, brothers talking about Esau's committing genocide against our people. Well, hey, the Lord is going to commit genocide against these Edomites in the future very soon. And that's what they're trying to avoid. Okay? And then the final precept will be from the book of Romans, chapter 16. I'm going to read the verse 19 and 20. It says, for your obedience is come abroad unto all men. Right? This is for the elect. Okay? I am glad, therefore, on your behalf. But yet I would have you wise unto that which is good and simple concerning evil. And the Most High Yahweh, the power of peace, shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. Alright, so the enemy has a short time to rule. So what does that mean for us? Our victory is about to be revealed. Okay? And the Most High, the power of peace, shall bruise Satan, the adversary, under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, Bashim Kadash, be with you, Tawab. So that's the point that I can always pray the Lord Yahushai continue to give you the strength to accept the bitterness of our captivity and to look forward, to hope for the victory that's about to come. Shalom.